Happy Wednesday, my friends. Come on into the craft room because we are going to do something a little bit different today. Go figure. I thought, you know what? I'm going to show you what we did on Monday because you guys got to see these in the shop. They're so cute. This just released Monday, this new interchangeable. But then we're going to create some coaster pumpkins. So hopefully, you get some ideas, you get some tips and all of the things to make your house a home, craft your story. Okay. Come on in if you are here. Tell me hello. If you were catching on the replay, let me know that as well. I'm going to pull up comments here. Hello, Sherry. Hello, Connie. We are actually going to be creating with these gorgeous scrapbook papers. They are gorgeous. I've been doing more of these muted tones. Well, let me just be honest. I say I've been doing it, but y'all, I've barely decorated for anything. I've barely decorated. I have pumpkins scattered here and there and everywhere. And, when we paint something, I have it sprinkled here to take a picture, but y'all, I have not decorated all the way for fall. So if I were to be decorating all the way for fall, it's these muted colors that we've been using, and I'm absolutely loving them. So who was here on Monday? Good evening, good evening. Hello, Desiree. Hello, Benita. Hello, Debbie. These papers are on Amazon. They are in my Amazon shop. So make sure that if you want the link to that Amazon shop, comment Daisy Love found this live. Did you listen to the other live even though you missed it? It was a good one. We chatted today inside the VIP group. I got paint on this, you guys, so just ignore it. I'm gonna have to repaint that. I don't know what I did, but we're gonna have to paint right over it because I got paint on it. Anyway, this was in the shop. It released Monday. You have all kinds of interchangeables that go with them. This is part of a bundle we have. I'm going to show you how they go in. This is part of the bundle. We still have to paint more of it. I fixed my H. So there is this base, and then you have another base that's just a pot only. It's a little bit bigger. And then you have another base that's a mug. Actually, where are those? Well, I thought they were over there, but they're not. So, you know what though? I got to show you something else. We're gonna show you that. So anyway, these are some of the interchangeables. This is how these work. Oh, Deb, you're going to love it because we talked about craft show prep, craft show vendor shows, craft shows. If you're doing any of those, maybe or some things that I've learned through the process, things I wish I would have known. So I dug into all that, and I'm also going to drop a PDF in there that you can just print out with all of the information that I gave today as well. Hello, Opal. So good to see you. All right, so these have spacers. If you want to see how we put these together, go back and watch the replay from Monday, a couple days ago, because that's where we did all these. But you guys, these are just absolutely adorable. And let me show, oh, look, here they are. Here's the mug. I'm going to paint the back of it because I hold my mugs this way. I don't know why I did a left-handed mug. And I'm not a fan. I thought I would love the polka dots, but I don't. So we're going to paint this side, but then it would be reversible. And then here is the terracotta planter that we did. This particular bundle does come with 13 pieces. Yes. Yes. Isn't this fun, Deb? But what I was thinking is putting some red. Let me just grab this and tie it around like we did this one. I love this little ribbon on here, and so I thought it would be fun to put one here. Let's just do that real quick and we'll see what it looks like. I love ribbon, just dresses your for me. You may not be a fan of ribbon, and that's okay, but for me, I just love it. So we're going to put it closer to the middle versus the top. This one, well, you might be able to put it in the middle. Let's see. Let's just go ahead and tie it and see. Yeah, let's put I'm thinking not centered. We're going to offset it just a little bit to the side. And I need to get some more gingham ribbon like this in all the colors because I really like gingham. It really just goes with so much. All right, let's make this a little bit smaller. We got quite a bit of a bow here. I cut too long. That's okay. All right. So now, I might have cut that one a little too short. We'll just pull on it. How about that? All right. I just love it. Ignore, there's a little bit of blue paint there that I need to touch up. I don't know how that blue paint got everywhere, but it did. So this is where, look at that with your little, look how cute that is with your little bow. That's adorable. That's adorable. We could bring the bow down a little bit if you want, but I think it's actually okay there. So here is the snowflake one. That one's super cute. Look at that. Look at that. So cute. I might do some distressing here. I might sand some of that down. I'm not sure. I just don't quite know exactly what look I want to go with yet on that one. Look at the little gobble turkey. So cute. Again, we painted all these on Monday. And there are more that go with this collection. The fall one looks really good, but I didn't glue that bow down. So you could switch that bow out, put a fall colored one on here. You could put a red one on there for Valentine's Day. I really love this Mary, the Christmas tree one. I love that one. Anyway, make sure that you go to the shop, grab these. There are singles of these, and I think I am going to list all of these as singles as well. Um, but the little interchangeables are $5 each. This I think is 14, and then these are 10, 12. I don't remember exactly. But that's a fun one. That's a fun one. Interchangeables are always popular. And so the mug and the other planter stands alone. Yes. Yes, they stand alone. Hello, Maureen. Yes, Dixie, you're right. You could switch the little bow out for each seasoness too. Where can I find the door hangers and group products so you can see how to put them together? What door hangers? So our door hanger of the months, I always paint here on the page and I always do that live. So if it's over 30 days old, it's obviously not going to be here on Facebook anymore. Boo hoo. Stone paint everywhere. Boo hoo. But they are going to be on YouTube. Okay. So hop over to YouTube. If you comment Daisy Love, it gives you a list of all my links. YouTube is one of them. Go over to my YouTube channel and then in the little search button, the little magnifying glass, just type door hanger, okay? And it's going to pull up all the door hangers. And so you should be able to find those there. As far as the VIP projects, those are inside the VIP group. And then again, if it's after 30 days, it's gone now from Facebook, but those are on our private YouTube playlist as well for the VIP people, the Dream Makers. That link is at the top of the Dream Makers page. Okay, so if you're wondering where all those things are, hopefully that helps. But Cindy, seriously, if you can't find exactly what you're looking for, send me a picture of the kit that you're working on, or it doesn't have to be all put together if you don't know how it goes together, but that way I have a rough idea of what your kit is and I can direct you to where that video is. Okay. Hello, Leanne. How are you? YouTube is so much easier to search, isn't it, Dixie? It really is. YouTube is just so much easier to search. That's all right. All right. I'm going to craft some pumpkins with you guys tonight. Why can't I get into the VIP products purchases page? I don't know. There is a passcode to it, Maureen. If you go to the Dream Makers group, and you go to the very top, the things that I want that you need to have access to all the time are always pinned to the top of that group. Again, let me know. I don't want to give you the passcode here because then anybody could get in, but the passcode for the VIP link is up there. And then the link to get into your things that you can purchase, and then also your coupon code so you get your 15% off. Those are all at the top. If you can't find it, again, post in the group, and either Dixie or I will kind of help navigate you to where you need to be. I'm making your head spin, Debbie. I love it. I love it. I see that everything worked out today. Okay. So I didn't feel like I needed to give you a call because I think everything worked out okay. You are good to go, Debbie. Watching both YouTube and Facebook makes you happy. I love it. I need to figure out how to go live on YouTube for the Dream Makers to where it's private. I need to figure out how much that. You need to get your button gear. You know what, Cindy? I have things that aren't done painted, and everybody does. And you know what? Sometimes we have seasons where we have a little bit more time to be creative. I do want to encourage you, though, every month to take 1 hour to create your project. If you can't find 1 hour a month to spend time creating, we were created to create, you guys. If you can't spend 1 hour a month, then we really need to look at um, what we have going on. Okay. Because you guys, we were created to create. I'm not saying that to make anybody feel bad because I get busy and I totally understand the world that we live in. But it is truly a part of who we are. It's in our makeup. We are created to create. And if we can give 1 hour additional to God every month, and that can be our time that we are creating, we are learning while we're creating, because that's what we do inside the Dream Makers group. Then I think you're going to be so satisfied with the changes that will happen in your life and in your faith and all of those things. This is scrapbook paper, Angela. Oh, Debbie, you do not drive me crazy. You are fine. I'm going to actually get this book so I can show you because this is gorgeous scrapbook paper. You guys, I saw it when I was just browsing Amazon one day. I think I was getting scrapbook paper or something for something else. I don't remember what it was. But I found these and I love it. These are in my Amazon shop. Okay. So comment Daisy Love. It'll show you my Amazon link. But this is what it looks like. It says Autumn Flowers. And let me just show them to you. So here's two. You're going to get two of each one. Here's one style. Okay. These are both the same because I'm going to use both of them. But check them out. Like I said, if I was decorating the way that I should be, let me move these out of the way so they don't distract from the ones I'm showing you right now. Um, these are kind of the colors that I'm going for this year, just a little bit more muted and all of that. Very feminine looking and soft, yes. Oh, you did your scarecrow today and it felt really nice. Did you post it? I think you did post it, Debbie. I think you did. You guys. Um, I am blown away by the ladies in the Dream Makers group posting their projects. We did our project Monday night, our monthly project Monday night. It's always on the 20th. Well, the 20th fell on a Saturday, so it was Monday. Anyway, that's here nor there. Um, I am simply blown away every month by the talent that you guys have. And some of you have been in that group since the very beginning, and I can see the improvement that you're making all along the way. And it just brings me so much joy to see all of your guys' creations and just the different ways that we can bring one simple piece to life. Okay. Um, well, I something dropped. I picked the owl up and something dropped, and now I'm dropping everything. So, okay. I was bringing the owl out to show you. This is in the shop. This wasn't one of our VIP kits. But this is paper that was from this book. This was a flower. These were flowers. Isn't it gorgeous? And we used it on his little wings and the little pumpkin. So this was from this too. So I don't know if this one's in here. I might have used two papers. I might have used it on something else, but just to give you an idea of what it would look like on something else. So anyway, you have this one. These are double-sided. I don't really, unless Like for us, if we're not scrapbooking, oh, thank you, Angela. You have just as much, my friend. You have just as much. There are people that I hear say, I'm not very creative. Well, creativity is a muscle. If we're not using it, we're not going to be creative. And so it is something that we have to nurture. And so I appreciate that's very kind of you, Angela. Thank you, Debbie. So if you are a scrapbooker, these are double-sided sheets. That's cool because you can use them double-sided, duh. Um, anyway, so here's one. Well, it's one, but you get two different sheets. Here is the second one. Look at how gorgeous that is. And here's a third one. This one's really, really pretty. It's got the orange, dark oranges and the dark yellows. I love it. This one's gorgeous. I love the way some of the greens in here have like a blue undertone. Look at this. This is actually the one. So actually, it is right here. This little feather right here is this right here. And then this was from a different one. So I actually pulled from two different pages for that one. But these are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh, Debbie, I love that you think it gets better every year. I love it. I really do try my hardest. I do. Here's a gorgeous one. Look at these. They're just all so pretty. And I'm like, I have got to do something with these papers. But I don't know about you, like, I can buy scrapbook paper because I fall in love with it, and then it just sits because I'm like, "Oh, it's so gorgeous. You have to have the perfect project for it." But I told myself today, "See, this one's got some of the blues, like the steel blue color, so pretty. And these are shiny." Anyway, I was like, "I'm gonna use those. I'm definitely gonna use those because it's too pretty to be sitting in there." Ooh, junk journaling too. That's a great idea, Deb. Does Tori use lots of scrapbook paper? All right. So we're gonna do. All right. I have two coasters here. I am going to take me off, and I'm gonna zoom in here for you, or actually zoom out for you guys. Hold on. Let's zoom out a little bit so you can see what we got going on here. There we go. I'm not really sure why it looks so dark. It sure does look dark though, doesn't it? We can hold on. I feel like I'm always adjusting and all the things. There we go. It's a little bit brighter now. All right. So we have two pieces of scrapbook paper because I'm going to use two different flowers. And the only reason that I got two pieces is because I think I want this flower and I want this flower. And I think I'm going to overlap. And so because those are the two flowers that I want, I'm going to definitely have to use two different papers. But then I have these. These are little knobs that you can get. Um, You can get these at Walmart, okay? You can get these at Walmart for sure. Oh, my camera moved. Not sure how that happened, but hold on. You're gonna see all kinds of mess now. I zoom in, I zoom out for all the things, and then I always have to get it set up again. Please forgive me. Okay, I think that's good. So these are little knobs. We're going to use those for the top. Now, these are bigger. Okay, you can see that that is quite a bit bigger. We're going to center it. I'm not too worried about it. If you wanted to make one chunky pumpkin, you could, and it would fit. Okay, you could glue those together. If you take these little backers off, then they would lay together. But if you went, I think these come in packages of two. They might come in packages of four, but I don't know where the other two would be if they did. But you could definitely make chunkier pumpkins so that maybe we should do that. Maybe we should just make a reversible pumpkin. I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to do one. I think we're going to do that. You love the paper and buy them too, and then it just sit. I know, right? All right, I'm gonna get the backs of these off. just so they can butt up next to each other, since we decided to make one. Well, all right. Tell me, should we make one reversible pumpkin or two individual pumpkins? I don't know. I think more is better, honestly. My original idea was to make two of them. There we go. So all those are off. Maureen, it depends. So next month you're gonna get chalkboard paint. Okay. Not always, because I'm adding other things to the boxes. So not always. It just depends. But next month you will get some um chalkboard paint, because not everybody has that, and we're going to be using that on the next project. Two. Everybody says two. Oh, thank you, Joanne. Thank you very much. It's kind of a bluish green color. Hubby likes darker colors in the fall. These are pretty smooth, but I'm going to just hit them with a sander. And I'm not too worried about the back, but if you want to get those off, you could just sand it a little bit more. But I'm just going to make sure the front is all sanded, just because we want our scrapbook paper to adhere really, really well. All right, so the vote is two. We're doing two. I'm going to do a stain on my pumpkins. So I'm going to use burnt umber. Or actually, no, it looks like I'm going to use chocolate sprinkle. Yep, looks like I'm going to use chocolate sprinkle. I really don't want that, though. I really want it. I don't want it that dark. There's burnt umber. All right. We are going to use burnt umber. So with the burnt umber, I'm going to do the edges of our piece, and then I'm going to do our knobs. These are going to be the tops of our pumpkins, like our pumpkin stems, but I'm going to do like a stain. So let's move this out of the way. Let's get a little bit of paint on our glass here. Looks like I need some more burnt umber. And like I said, we're only going to do the edges because that's going to be all that you're seeing. You might want to do the back if you are someone that likes to finish the back of your projects. I typically get lazy and don't, unless I'm giving it as a gift or something. If I'm giving it as a gift, I will finish the back. There we go. There's that one. This one. You could paint these if you wanted. If we wanted to do them orange, we could pull an orange that was from our scrapbook paper and do that. Well, this isn't working to the best. I feel like it's not adhering very well. I must not be getting enough on my little. There we go. All right, now let's take the other side and wipe it down some, because I don't want it that dark. You learn today by human error of your own. If you was painting my frame for Coffee Boo, then I bought from the shop to wipe down the wood before painting, my white had brown dust in it. Oh, yep, that happens. Don't you hate those lessons that we learn, like, by mistake? You're like, oh, yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. I typically mess up a lot through my creations with you guys. So I'm like, that is what you don't want to do. So learn from my mistakes. All right. I think I have those a pretty color. I think that's what I want. Hold on. That looks really dark. And this one doesn't look dark enough. Oh well, we'll see. No two pumpkin stems are the same, right? And one's wet and one's dry, so that's gonna make it look a little bit different while we're creating with it. All right, so now I am going to plug in. Uh-oh, what just happened? There we go. I'm gonna plug in my iron because we're gonna do the Mod Podge on here. Let's open our Mod Podge. And we're gonna get a little mop brush here. Actually, we'll get this one. And we're gonna put a good layer of Mod Podge on it. Now, these little, honestly, I may have gotten these little coasters from Dollar Tree, but I'm almost positive it was Dollar General. But you can find coasters almost anywhere. I think I originally got these for a resin project that we never got around to. Can we just like come together in the comments and give each other props or give each other encouragement that no, we're not alone when we have all these unfinished projects? We are not alone. All right, we're gonna let that one dry. Let's put some on here. Do as I say, not as I do, right? That's me. That's me for sure. Well, mostly it's because I don't really um do like prototypes. I just kind of I'm like, okay, this is in my head and it's gonna work. And then if it doesn't, then I just figure that out as we move along. All right. Now we're gonna let that dry just a little bit. Hello, Lee. How are you? These are looking funny. That one is. It must be because it's wet. It is. Look, now it's drying up. Now it's drying. You guys, I have an event that I'm doing on Friday, so make sure you're here. Does having good intentions count? Yes. Yes. Friday morning at 10 a.m., I'm doing an event. There's an all day event with my friend Candy from Frames That Change. And I've got a fun project lined up for you guys. So make sure you're here at 10. And there's going to be fun stuff all day long. You get so excited it's coming together and then you get sloppy. Yeah, I totally get that for sure. I'm going to brighten this up just a little bit for you guys. There we go. That's brighter. That's better. All right, we're done with this. So for each of our pumpkins, I want this flower right here on one of them, and then I want this flower on another one. So let me move our paint out of the way so I don't get paint on this gorgeous paper. So I know, I guess it doesn't really matter which is the top or bottom because it's a perfect square. So for this one, I know that I want, actually, let's put it to where I like it when it's coming out of the side. Ooh, I like that. We're calling that good right there. Better late than never, my friend Sheila. It's so good to see you. All right, we're going to iron this down. The iron is going to reactivate all that dry Mod Podge underneath and it's going to make it stick. And I feel like I have baking soda on this paper from Monday night when we did our terracotta pot. All right. Now, if waste freaks you out, then look away right now. Look away because I'm going to probably trash all this, okay? Go ahead and sand off the edges of it. And we could, I guess we could save it. There's enough there. Maybe I will save it. All right, you can open your eyes. Been a while since I've just done a fun project. And so I was like, you know what? That's what we're going to do. Look at that. Y'all, if you don't want to make these into pumpkins, you could totally make these into coasters. Working on a quilt, taking a break now to join. Well, how fun. I'm glad you were able to join us, Lee. That is my mom's a quilter, so I definitely understand that. But you could make these coasters, you could resin these so that they kind of hold up a little bit more, but that's gorgeous. And we might put it that way. I don't know. There's no right or wrong way, I guess. All right, now this one, and we're going to use some stickles on this, so don't leave, okay? Because this is just the beginning of what it's going to look like. All right, so this one, I want this white flower. So I'm kind of seeing, and again, I think I want it down at the other corner like that. I think right there. I'm going to get some more parchment paper because I feel like that does have baking soda all over it. And just write baking soda on it and save it. And it's all over here. Do a quick swipe with our baby wipe without burning ourselves real quick to wipe it off. Oh, much better. It just had some grit and it was not smooth on here. Aren't these adorable, Angela? Yes, I think they're, I mean, the scrap of paper definitely takes it. All right, same thing here. Sand off all your edges. Now, if you wanted to put a coat over this, a coat of Mod Podge over it to seal it, you totally could. I don't do that very often. Um, as long as it's sealed pretty well. And this paper is very thick paper and has a really good kind of sheen over the top. And so I think you're going to take that away if you Mod Podge it. Aren't these just gorgeous? Oh my goodness. All right. So I think what we're going to do first, we're going to use stickles on this. Mess today, you guys. What's different from any other day, though, right? We're going to glue these onto the top here. Look how cute that's going to look. And we're going to put some fun ribbon and stuff on these too. But let's look right here in the middle. That looks like in the middle to you, maybe? I don't know. We're going to call it the middle. How do we want that? Like that? Okay. If it doesn't sit right, just sand the bottom of that a little bit. I might do that on this one because this one isn't being the best. All right. We're going to let those sit for a second. And I think we're going to tie raffia around those. We're going to do that last. We are going to pull out some stickles. I think I'm only going to use this one. It's called Glisten. It's my favorite. We could use a little bit of copper. I think we're just going to use the Glisten. We could even use some white on the white one. I think we're going to do both of them in Glisten though. All right. Are these on here? They might. We're not going to be pressing on them, so I think it'll be fine that it's laying like this. All right, so I'm going to trace the entire flower, okay? Hello, Linda. Just got home from church. Had to get a new machine because yours gave up the ghost. What do you mean? You have 26 quilts in process and one with parts on the way. Oh, okay. A quilt machine. Debbie says if you had four of these, you could put them on a ribbon and hang them on a wall with a bow at the center at the top. Center them. Absolutely. That would be gorgeous. 10 a.m., same time that I'm usually live on Fridays, Maureen. 10 a.m. Yep. All right. I'm going to zoom in so you can really see the stickles that we're going to put on here. Okay. This is where it turns really fun. Let me pull my comments back up for you. All right. I got to put my glasses on. Stickles is basically like glitter glue. All right. So I think I want to trace the entire flower. Um, like all of these areas here. Let's go ahead and start like this. This is where this is going to take this scrap of paper over the top. Gorgeous. Oh, hold on. I gotta wipe that away and redo that part. Kind of had a little clog there. Let's do this here. Can you guys see that gorgeousness coming to life? Whoop. Look at that. Hey, Kim, how are you? Ooh, Deb, you're going to love it. You are going to love it. So this has a couple. We're going to kind of outline on this one too, because that one had a couple. Yes, the Crafting for Profit camp. That is going to be here in a couple weeks, actually. That is going to be really good for you, Deb. I think you'll really, really enjoy it. Anybody else that wants to craft for profit or, try to figure out what it looks like for you, it's a free little seminar. Not really a seminar, it's like a day training that is going to be really good. My particular topic is on storytelling in your brand because stories sell. And the more you can lean into that, I think the more success you're going to have. So I'm not necessarily, I guess it looks like I am tracing all of the petals, but just kind of whatever looks appealing to your eye is what I want you to do when you're using the stickles, because it's just going to sometimes a little goes a long way and sometimes more stickles is better. It really just depends. Up here, it looks like it's all mixing together. I kind of made that line. I don't think there was one there, but we're gonna pretend like there is. Look at that. Is that gorgeous or what? Is it too bright? Maureen said it's looking very expensive. I love that look. It does make it a little bit more classy, doesn't it? Let's darken it up a little bit. There you go. Not so bright now for you guys. Yay! Lee got her ticket. You still remember the Christmas scenes you stickled last year? Those were gorgeous. Those were gorgeous. So I think this is all I'm going to do on this one. Okay. You can go extravagant if you want. If you wanted to pull out different stickles, different colors, and do any of these, I don't have an orange or a yellow that's going to look really good with it. Mine's more whimsical looking. It's not these muted colors, but um, you could definitely, let's do this little one right here. There we go. That's so gorgeous. That is so gorgeous. All right, I'm gonna set that there. And now we're gonna do the same thing with this one, okay? These coasters are a little rough. All right, let's do these. You want to think about where your hand is going to lay because if you're anything like me, you're going to stick your hand in the stickles a time or two. So just be cautious of that when you're using it. Let's see. Let's go here. We got a couple lines here. Lots of folds. Let's do right there. Bring this one down here. Bring that one down. There we go. And sometimes if you can't tell where a line is on a flower, you just trace it. Because you know how petals, especially on flowers like this that are you just have so many petals, it's okay if you throw an extra line in there to make another petal. That is so pretty. You have to go backwards when you do it because you're left-handed. Yep. High class crafting. We're rubbing elbows with the elite. I love it. That is gorgeous on this orange. And it is gorgeous on that. It's kind of a yellow, not even a mustard. I don't even know. Kind of a burnt orange yellow is what I would say that is. All right. So this one just has some different shaped flowers. It looks like it's, well, it looks like it's just a different kind of flower, but it may not be. Get the edge there. Let's see. That's a big petal. There's another one. And I think I'm going to make these lines in here too, because we did that down at the bottom. Let's just do a few lines in there, kind of like right here too. I like that. We're just going to take some of those dark lines and just go down like that. And honestly, you guys, I think this is it. Let's do a few more. Let's do a few more down here on this one. You guys, you can use stickles on paper crafting. You can use it on the wood. I'm going to put one right there. Actually, I don't think that one needs any more. Look at those. Aren't those gorgeous? It does look like a magnolia. And you know how there's like, um, what do we call it? Like a double rose has more petals than a regular rose. This one might be kind of like that because it has a lot more than this one. But Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. Look at this. I'm going to dry these a little bit because, oh, be careful. You don't want to move it. I think that might have been a bubble or something. We're going to put some raffia on here, and I don't want it to be super wet. I mean, we're not going to get it completely dry, but a little bit will help. So I can see this with so floral patterns. I mean, look at this one. How pretty would that be? If you are a fan of stickles, this glisten color, Glisten, it's, I can't read it. It says glisten. It's my favorite. I use it on absolutely. I use it all the time. Still a little bit wet. Sorry. It does pick up the gold color and the glitter. It really does, especially this one. I think that orange color really does. Add a line left of center and the other side. Right here or right here. I actually see two spots that I could do that. I don't know if that's where you were telling me, but actually there's probably a few here we could trace. There we go. Is that where you were talking about? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but that works. Oh, good. I knew what you were talking about, Jennifer. Good. Does it look gold on the yellow? Yeah. And multicolors on the right? Yeah. So this glisten is like a multicolor gold. Let me get in the camera here. It is like a multicolor gold. It's probably really hard to see. Um, this one is a copper color and it's pretty, but this one I can see iridescent colors in it. Like I can see, I got paint all over me. I can see pinks, I can see blues, I can see purples, I can see greens. It's kind of like that iridescent holographic. And so, yes, it's picking up a little bit. You can see that one of those um, looks very different just based on the background. Okay. Yeah. Very different based on the background. All right, let's put some raffia on here. Let's zoom these out a little bit more so you can see me working on them right here. I think we're just gonna do some traditional raffia. So grab some. My sea of raffia nest mess. Raffia nest mess. Let's see. I think I want a decent amount. Let's see. Hold on. Y'all know what the raffia mess looks like, so because I'm sure you guys have it too. All right, let's cut this off. Looks like I got two little strands. I think we're going to use this on one. I want a pretty big raffia bow there. So what I'm going to do, because let me scooch these out of the way. At the end, this is like not separated at all. So I'm going to take my little tool here. Deb is actually the one that gave this to me. And I'm going to just put this in. I'm going to just poke in there and then, well, maybe, hold on. I'm going to poke it in and I'm going to pull and it's going to separate those. Okay. You can just get it started with a little tool like this. This one needs to be done too. So there we go. Now we got a bunch of little ones. Can you see that? All right. Now let's do this. We're going to make 2 of them. We're going to make 2 of them, but I need a piece to tie it with. So let's get that. We're going to put this piece right here. And this is what we're going to actually, let's separate this into 2. There you go. We're going to put it in our little ribbon maker here. Maybe, well, doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. So this is what we're going to tie it with. Okay. And now I'm just going to go back and forth. Just kind of keeping them the same length on both sides. There's probably much better ways to do this, but this is how I do it. All right, we got a big bow now. However, I don't know that I tied that one tight enough. All right, now we're going to take this and pull it up and tie it in a knot. See, we have a raffia bow now. All right, let's tie it in a knot. And we'll give it a haircut in just a minute, okay? But we have one. We got some of this. Let's go ahead and trim that for now. Let's get all that out of the way. And then let's do our second one. So I grabbed 2 pieces of raffia. Let's put our little string in there and let's go back to our raffia and find a couple more pieces that might look good. Um, let's see. Hold on. I'm going to be really honest. I'm not a huge fan of raffia. I'm just not. It's just everywhere. I don't know why I'm not a huge fan of it. I mean, it would look like it fits right in the mess of my uh office here because everything's a mess here. All right, so we're going to do the same things. These are pretty tightly woven. So basically, you're just tearing them apart. Okay, go ahead and get it started and then pull it open. I lost comments. Hold on. It is very pearlescent. Let's zoom out a little bit more for you guys. That way you can see what's going on. It looks like the fake flowers dipped in glitter. They're gorgeous. That's all I know. All right, this one's a little bit more, oops, sorry, I just hit the camera. This one's a little bit more tightly wound than the other one, so give me just a minute. Raffia is your nemesis. It is me too. Not my favorite. There we go. We have one more. Let's do this one. Oh, it looks like it is separated right here. Just didn't get down to the bottom. All right. Use the grass skirts, and I could use this. Like I have this. Looks like raffia twine. I did not count how many times I looped on the other one. If you want to keep track of that, you totally can. If you're worried about your bow being lopsided and one side heavier than the other, you can definitely count and make sure you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 blah. You can do that if you want. This is the lazy way. All right, that's what we got. Let's pull up a little bit on these, tie them together. There we go. We can put that out of the way. Tie it in a knot, and then we'll give them haircuts and fluff them up and then put them on the beautiful pumpkins. See all of these end ones that are just kind of one piece. If you want them to be hairy, just use your little tools. Little poker tool that. All right. So I don't want a ton of stragglers. Actually, I probably don't really want much of any of them. So we're going to just do them like that. Let's trim them all like that. This one looks pretty good. We got a few. Just be careful because if you cut too close, you're going to cut your loops, which is totally fine. You could just have like the raffia that doesn't have loops. That's totally fine. But just know that you could cut the loops if you're doing it like that. All right. Once you get it under control, it does look nice. Yes. Hi, Anne. How are you? So good to see you. You gave all your raffia away. You were never a fan of it. That is funny because that sounds like something I would do. All right, and we're going to just put this right under here because it's going to cover up that overhang, okay? Everything's fixable. Even though it's an overhang on the back, it's totally fine. You could still even make this reversible if you wanted to put the same thing. This is all dry now. If I had not put my heat gun over it, it would be wet and it would take probably an hour and a half to dry, just so you know. Um, but anyway, we're just going to nestle this up right underneath there so it looks good. But I like when it looks a little bit messier, so we're going to crunch all this up. Like, we're just going to crunch it up. Make it look messy. Look at that. Ta-da! Ta-da! Look how gorgeous that looks. Look at that. Messy, messy, messy. All right, we're going to do the same thing on these. Just going to crunch them up like you're wadding them up to throw them away in the trash can. Ooh, somebody dropped something or something upstairs. Oh, these are gorgeous. All right, so I'm looking at this, and actually, let's go ahead and put it on to see if we need to trim anything first. All right, we're going to put that right there. I'm going to just put a little bit of glue there and nestle it right there. We're going to hold it for a minute. Yes, it's a messy hair day. I love that. All right, we're going to let that sit for a minute while it dries and warms or cools back down. Probably didn't glue these too tight, but we're going to put that one right here. Hey, Carol, how are you? It is so good to see you. All right, now let's do some trimming if we need to. We may not need to. So this one's kind of hanging, like you might be able to maneuver it up, which we did. So, yeah, it's attached. Might need to do that. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of trimming here. That is so good. Yeah, it still wants to hang down, so we're just gonna call that like that. You do not want to take away from the beauty of these papers. Look at that. That is so pretty. Oh, thank you, Sherry. You are so sweet. You are so sweet. That is gorgeous on there. So gorgeous. I do have something that is over the top even. Did we just do this? Ooh, ooh, tripping over my broom that fell. This might be too much though, guys. You see this? Let me zoom in for you guys. Keep zooming in and zooming out. Let's see. Let's go back in. There we go. So this is gorgeous. And it matches. I'm not saying we're going to use it. I'm not saying that, but we're going to see. And honestly, it matches so perfectly. However, I don't know if we should do it or not. Okay. If you were to see that, would you like that on there? Yes? No? What do you think? It might have a harder time standing. It might have a harder time standing. Should we add it? Isn't the stickles gorgeous, Benita? Betty, it is not. And I'm gonna check on that because it should. There were several of you that loved that. And so I had only ordered like a small amount of them. So thank you for asking me. I will check on that for you. What is the verdict? Yes or no on these? Yes or no? Is it too much, Betty? Sure is gorgeous though. Oh my goodness, it's so gorgeous. You think it takes away from the beauty? All right, then we won't. Then we won't. Sherry says yes. You could totally, we need to use this for something because it's gorgeous. And I have a ton of it. I used it on a pumpkin probably 3 or 4 years ago, and it was really, really pretty. It was very pretty. We're gonna have to, we're definitely gonna have to use it for something. Hello, hello, I'm back. It's so good to see you guys. It's hard to say it is pretty, I know. Lee said it looks fine, but she probably wouldn't. I totally, totally understand that. We're not gonna do it. Because I was kind of thinking the same thing. I'm gonna zoom this in up here so you can see these a little bit better. These they will stand, but if they're on a table, it's probably going to get knocked over. So we do have some back stands in the shop if you want to add a back on here. Or you could use some little Jenga blocks. You could really do whatever you want to give it a little bit more. But I think these are going to be so gorgeous on like um, tiered trays and things like that. Isn't that gorgeous? Let me get it in the camera for you. I love it. I love it. So pretty. The stickles just takes it over the top, you guys. It really does. If you've not used stickles, definitely give it a try. Definitely give it a try. Deb, do you remember that when we used it on the pumpkin? I don't even know if I have that pumpkin anymore. Leave sleeping dogs lie. Yep. What about around the stem? You might be able to do that. Let me find the end of it again. There it is. So you mean like this? You could totally do that. What do we think of that? I'm not in love. I think I'm gonna leave it off. But yeah, I mean, you could totally, just depending on the style that you wanted. So there you go. Go grab. Ooh, something like this for Christmas coasters would be really pretty too. I agree. This would be really pretty. And then you could make them into like ornaments. You could say they were ornaments and stuff like that. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, ladies, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I wanted to do something a little bit different from you. It was a stuffed pumpkin, Deb. She remembers. I wanted to do something a little bit different for you. So go grab some stickles, grab some coasters. You can get them at Dollar General, Dollar Tree. You can probably find little wooden coasters at Hobby Lobby, Walmart, like probably anywhere. Um, so go grab those, grab some of these, and some beautiful scrapbook paper. This is in my Amazon shop list if you want that scrapbook paper. But oh, you're definitely going to have to watch the replay, Robin. These turned out absolutely gorgeous with the stickles on them. All right. I think that's all I have for you guys. We are going to hop on and paint some more of these at some point. We may do that tomorrow. Um, Either here or in the VIP group because I need to paint the other ones that we've had. But just don't forget, this is what came. Um, this was released on Monday. Y'all, I think we need stickles on this because I'm just a stickles girl. Should we do it? Should we do it? Should we just add it? I don't know. I'm gonna have to think on that because this would be gorgeous with some stickles on it. But I don't know. Let me think on that a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think on that a little bit. We'll see. Have an amazing evening, Carol. Thank you, Benita. It looks like a pretty perfume bottle with the top covered with that ribbon. Ooh, it did. You could totally make it look like that. Absolutely. I've not, Robin, because I've had something going on every night of the week. And so it may just have to be alive inside the group during the day and not a Zoom in order to get it in this month. And that was totally my fault. But like when I planned my month out, I needed to do it that night. You need resin on the bulb? Ooh, that's a good idea. To put resin on here, that's a good idea. Deb is our resin queen. She loves resin. All right, ladies. I love you guys. Have an amazing evening. Make sure that you are right here at 10 a.m. Friday morning because I got some more fun planned for you guys. All right. I love you guys.